Hello, my name is Steve Hogan, and I'm here to talk to the Cub Scouts 424 and how I got elected. So we'll start right now. So in Clark County, Washington, we get elected by a public vote. The voting usually starts in the month of May. You have to sign up, and you run for election. The end of the election is around Thanksgiving, so early November is when you get elected. So you've got plenty of time to go out, meet people, and explain why it is you want to be an elected official. So part of being an elected official is to go door to door and begin to talk to the residents about why it is you want to be elected. Personally, it was because I wanted to serve the community. I love this community. I think most people that do run for office love their communities, and as a result, they want to get out and try to get people to basically support them. Support could come in having a sign in their yard with the person that's running for election, their name on it for that woman or that man. And other ways of doing it is to have campaign literature that you put in the mail. You mail it to the households and give the reasons in the campaign letter that you want to be elected. Either way, you're trying to get votes. Okay, there's two possibilities when people are running for election. There could be only two candidates that signed up to run for election, or there could be three or more that are running for election. If there are three or more, then the first election runoff is in August. So there'll be three or more people on the ballot, and they're going to have the election, the primary election, and it'll get down to two after the August vote. Once you've gone down to the final two, then the next election is in early November. And there's only two people left, and at that point it's if you get 50% of the vote plus one extra vote, you're the winner. And if you have 49.9 and the other person has 50, it's all over for you. But it's mainly about getting in to help your community. That's what you're driving for as you're running for election. And there are lots of things, especially that the Cub Scouts do, that improve our cities and our counties, and there's a lot to support if you're an elected official. So that's why we run. So I was elected to mayor in 2022, and that mayor decided that he was going to quit the job halfway through. So when I ran for election, I ran for his last 2 years of his first term. And then in 2024, I ran again for another 4-year term. So you either fill a vacancy that gets created in the middle of a term, or you run for election for a 4-year term. That's usually how it works. Some of the things that people use as their campaign literature and what they're supporting are things like the environment, Camas Lake, the water quality, the wetland areas, the open space that we have, the forests, the trails, the streets that we have. All those issues can come up in the campaign. We have a great library system. The city is known for a lot of services that we provide, more than most cities throughout Clark County. But those city services are extraordinarily good for the public, especially when you have something like a library and the early learning that can take place where people learn how to read because they go to the library and do story time or various other things. So anyway, there are lots of reasons to run for election, and there's a lot of work that goes into it. There's plenty of reading. because we make laws, and every time we make a law, we have to know what that law is all about and why it's being made. So those are some of the things that are pretty key for why people run for election. So I hope I've helped to make you understand why it is people run for city election and why it's so important to the community to have people that want to run for supporting the community. So I hope that I've come up with some good justifiable points for you to want to run for office, and it would be great to see any of you be elected servants in the future. So I hope you do run for election and you win the election and you serve your community. So thank you for having me on this film. Take care.